To France now, where a ceremony has been taking place in Paris to mark the reopening of Notre Dame Cathedral. President Emmanuel Macron hosted dozens of world leaders and dignitaries in the French capital to celebrate its restoration. The cathedral in the heart of Paris has undergone a painstaking renovation to restore it to its former glory after fire gutted its roof and woodwork in 2019, causing its famous spire to collapse. The main structure only narrowly avoided destruction.
And let's cross over to our correspondent, Lisa Lewis, who's standing by in Paris for us. So, Lisa, you're right in front of the Notre Dame Cathedral. The reopening ceremony is happening tonight. What can you tell us?
Well, it's been a very moving ceremony with different parts to it. The ringing of the bells, the bells were ringing for the first time after 5.5 years, and there was applause from inside the cathedral. The people here attending, thousands of people, also thousands of people on the Seine riverbanks that have come here to watch the ceremony live on giant screens that are set up along the Seine. That was one part. Then the Archbishop knocked on the door of Notre Dame de Paris with a staff made of timber that was saved from the fire. And there was this ritual where he knocked 3 times, then a choir answered. That was repeated 3 times. And actually the choir was standing for Notre Dame de Paris' answer to the Archbishop, who then entered the cathedral. A very moving moment. That was a symbol of the Catholic religion retaking possession of the cathedral. There was also another part of the religious ceremony where the organ, the great organ with 8,000 pipes, was for the first time again, someone was playing on that organ. The pipes were not damaged during the fire, but they were polluted with lead, so they had to be really cleansed in a painstaking process. We also had a Republican, what they call a Republican part of the ceremony, where, for example, President Emmanuel Macron was speaking, holding a speech, saying that the whole nation, the French nation, was expressing its gratitude to those who had helped save Notre Dame de Paris from the fire, but also restore it. And these people, the people who restored the cathedral and who saved it, they were here tonight. People, again, inside and outside of the cathedral were clapping for them in a moment of, gratitude, showing how joyful everybody was, how happy everybody was that the cathedral is now reopening.
And our viewers just saw images of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump in the audience there. Now, we know he met with French President Macron and then also the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for talks earlier today. What do we know about those talks so far?
Donald Trump has indeed come here to attend tonight's ceremony. Emmanuel Macron extended an invite to him earlier, a few days back, and when the president-elect accepted it, it was declared a diplomatic coup by many observers, many commentators. You could say tonight was actually a double coup, because President Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, also came to Paris to attend the ceremony, and Macron, he received both of them, one after the other, at the Elysee, and then brought them together. Obviously, Zelensky is interested in talking to Donald Trump, who will soon return to the White House, because the Ukrainian president needs U.S. support after the Russian invasion of Ukraine since 2022. For President Macron, on the other hand, this was a way to show that he is still a great statesman, that he plays a role on the diplomatic level, on the international level. That's what he was trying to show, what he actually achieved to show in a way tonight. And obviously he was also trying to deflect from what's happening on the home front, where things are really in dire straits in French politics.
Well, as you were saying there, this is a coup for Macron on the international scene, but is he using today's ceremonies to kind of mask some of the troubled waters he's facing at home?
Well, he actually said so on Thursday night when he was holding a televised speech here in France. He was saying this is supposed to be a moment of happiness for France, a moment of respite. This comes after last Wednesday, France's government basically fell apart. It was ousted by parliamentarians who voted on a budget, the budget for next year, and to that budget was pegged a no-confidence vote, which brought down the Michel Barnier government, the government headed by Prime Minister Michel Barnier, who had only been in place for 3 months. Now President Macron has to find a new Prime Minister, a really difficult task given that the Parliament is split into 3 blocks, none of which has a clear majority. And, you know, the French are just notoriously bad at governing with coalitions. So it will be really tricky for Emmanuel Macron to find a new Prime Minister. And tonight and this weekend, at least, there is a moment of respite for France to deflect from these problems.
All right, that was Lisa Lewis reporting for us in Paris. Thank you very much for that update.